Hi, everyone, and welcome to Legacy Circle. This is Sienna Calderon, and I am the creator and founder behind Legacy Circle. So this is interview 2, and I have with me Angie.
Hello!
She is the owner of Angie Jewelry, and today we're going to be talking about your support system, partners. So it's gonna be a little different. I know, like, most of the time people are like mainly asking about like your business, but I feel like we often overlook the support system, the people like that help you.
That make it all possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you can just first give us a little introduction about you and your business, and then we'll get into the topic.
Yeah, so my name's Angie. My business name is Angie Jewelry, and we sell hypoallergenic, water and tarnish resistant jewelry. We have gold, we have silver, we have our own store now, our first brick and mortar in the Houston Heights, and we provide permanent jewelry services, and we just added our engraving services as well.
Perfect. And then you have, can you like show us? Okay.
I have everything. I'm stacked.
Okay. So yeah, I do want to get into like, because I've seen your husband around a lot. He's definitely there. One of your partners. So how? I know when you first start a business, it's kind of hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you have like all these like anxieties. You're like, oh my God, it's gonna work out. And all this pressure, and I'm sure sometimes too, like we also get it sometimes from our family, right? Because they're like, well, is this gonna work? And we don't all have just like that entrepreneurship in our family all the time. So how was that, like you starting your business? What did that support look like, especially from like your partner?
So starting the business. Okay, so I come from like an entrepreneurship family. My mom, so when my mom was in Mexico, she had a store in Mexico, and she did that for her life until she moved over here. We came to the United States, started our life over here.
Yeah.
When from the age of 10, I think when the recession hit in 2008, we started going to the flea market. So every single weekend we would go to the flea market and sell stuff to make ends meet.
Yeah.
And then from that moment on to until I got married, which was like maybe 23, 24, I always went to the flea market with my mom. So I feel like I have it in my blood. Like I've done it forever. We went to the flea market, we sold, we everything. And so I have it in me. And when I started to do the markets, it kind of felt like natural. It felt like something I had been doing for all my life, because I literally I was just going to bougier places.
What products were you selling before
at the flea market?
Yeah.
So it was like literally everything. So snacks, drinks, clothes, phone cases, backpacks for kids. It was like a little mini Walmart, and we had so many things that we would like buy, and my mom would just resell. And that's how we paid for my college, and that's how we did so many things. And so how we made it ends meet as well. So I feel like I've always had it in me to do it. So my mom has always been very supportive in me doing absolutely anything, because she knows what you can get out of it. You know, like some people are just scared, like, oh, are you gonna make it means? Is it gonna be worth it? But my mom has always known, yes, it's worth it. Yes, it's hard, but you can do it. So when I decided to do my business, I have a strong faith. So I always knew, no matter what, in me, I knew it was going to work out. And plus, when I told my husband, I was like, hey, I have this idea. I've always been this all my life. Like, I've always loved clothes. I've always loved jewelry. I've always been this. I was even voted like most fashionable in high school. So I feel like it was meant to be what I was supposed to do. So when I told my husband, I pitched the idea because I wanted something for myself. I was a stay-at-home mom. I had just given birth to my son. And I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was like, hey, babe, I have this idea. I had gone on TikTok, and I wanted to get back on jewelry, but gold jewelry. But it was super expensive back in the day. Like, to buy a necklace, it was like $100. And I was like, bro, I either pay my bills or feed my baby or buy me a necklace. So then I wanted to, I saw a TikTok where it made it seem so easy. Like, oh, post a video or like show up and you're going to blow up and it's going to change your life. Thank God I saw it. It didn't happen like that. It took longer than a video, but it brought me to where I am now. And so I pitched the idea to my husband. He was like, you know what, if you want to do it, go ahead. Completely up to you. He was the only one working. So not that I needed his approval or for him to tell me like, yeah, you can do it, but I just wanted to run it through him, because we're a marriage. I feel like when you want to make a big decision, it's on both of us. Even though it was something that I was going to do, I wanted him to be like, yeah, babe, I got you. You can do it, right? So I did it. I researched everything that I needed to research, all my suppliers, materials, just immersed myself in everything jewelry, and just I was just gonna do gold. So I was like, I want a gold product that you can wear forever. It's not gonna tarnish. It's not gonna turn green, because I was buying Forever 21 and girl, like it was gone in like a wear. So I wanted something that was going to be that wasn't gonna break the bank. That you could wear it multiple times. It could get wet. That you can get sweat on it, because we live in Houston and this weather is crazy. One day it's hot, one day it's not. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I need something that's gonna hold up. So I searched everything. I searched my researchers, my suppliers and everything, materials, and I just came up with a product. My husband was super supportive from the beginning. He was like, get whatever you need from the money that we have saved up, do what you got to do, and that's it. So I did. I took a leap of faith, and we're here now.
But that's wonderful, because I feel like, especially like, you like having that support from like your husband, not that you necessarily needed it, but it gives you that like extra confidence boost,
it does,
right? Like,
it does. It feels good to know that he's like, yeah, babe, you got this, you can do it. Exactly. Instead of like being like, whatever, I don't care. No, like I felt like I was comfortable in doing what I was going to, because at the end of the day, I was going to take money out of our finances that could, like, God forbid something happened, that money was no longer going to be there, and it was going to be invested in something else. So it was a good thing that I had his approval, because I was just like, you know what, like it's a scary step, even if it's $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. Like, I don't know. I was scared, but he was so good. He was supportive. He was like, do what you need to do. I'm here for you. I'm supportive. I'll support you in everything that you do. So I started like that, and his support just continued, because I started doing the pop-ups, and he was there every single weekend. He was working Monday to Friday, 60 plus hours a week, and then going with me to pop-ups and selling our jewelry Saturdays and Sundays. So he was literally working 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Doing it all, and super supportive. He would carry everything. Sometimes he would fall asleep in the chairs while he was helping me. But I was like, oh man, I feel so bad for him. But at the same time, at that moment, those markets were crazy and they were booming, and I just needed another set of eyes to make sure like nobody was like, sticking little hands and taking something. So he's always been there. He's super, super supportive. So now we get to do it together, and it's a full-time job. It's like a full circle, like I love it that we get to do it together, and it started so small, and to see where it's at now, it's mind-blowing.
I love that. Well, before we get into that, because I think that's just like such a cool thing when someone else like sees your vision,
Mm-hmm.
and then like invests their time into it too, right? But like growing up, did you see like were your parents like that model for you, or like what kind of partners, like relationships did you see growing up?
Well, my biggest role model definitely has to be my mom. She has to be my biggest role model in life, and everything that I do, I'm like, what will my mom do?
Yeah.
And I mean, everything that I've seen for her is just perseverance, pushing. I mean, typical Mexican mom, like they're superheroes, they can do it all.
Literally.
So I always saw that in her, and going to the flea market, that just, at first, girl, let me tell you, I was like a little shy, and one time I would see like my friends, and I'd be like, oh my God, like I'm at the flea market. But then I was just like, it doesn't matter. People gotta make their money. They gotta make their coin one way or another, and this is the way that we make it, and I'm completely fine with it. So when that whole shyness went away, I just kind of blossomed into like a salesperson. I was like, like in the tianguis, like, yeah, come on in, pásale, whatever, we got this, we got that. And I don't get to do that no more, but I still have it in me, and I feel like because my mom showed me that, it instilled something in me, like the hard work, that just go out there and do it. And I can thank my mom a million and one ways for making me, or helping me become the woman that I am today, and just being so hard, and especially instilling the faith that we have now. I feel like that also helps me a lot, because as crazy as it sounds, I knew I wasn't going to fail. Like I knew it was going to happen. One, because I know I have God with me that's going to literally guide my way, and he didn't bring me this far just to bring me this far. Mm-hmm. And two, because I know that the hard work that my mom has instilled in me is going to help me open the doors for myself.
Yeah. I love that. Especially, I'm really close to my mom, so I'm like,
girl, don't cry, because I start crying. I'm an emotional wreck, literally. I'm like, no. Anytime I bring my mom up, I'm like, dang, waterfalls already. Like, I'm crying.
No, but I love that, because like I grew up. I mean, my mom raised me on her own, so I I feel like I always take that into just like relationships, whether it's like friendships or whatever. And it almost like instilled in me even this like loyalty and like in people that like you have to show up. Because for my mom, she didn't really have like no other choice. And then my grandparents, like, it's funny because when I had like a food business about like 2 years ago, and it's funny because on the flip side, like my family, because they like had to like, you know, like they worked at like the bodegas and stuff, or they actually like had like a t-shirt business, and then my grandma had like a cleaning business. So because like they worked so hard, on the flip side, like they actually didn't want us to like do it. Yeah. So they were like when I told my grandma like I wanted to get into food, she was like, why? That's like so much work. Like, and I'm like, but so was everything. Yeah. Like, you know, like
everything in life is.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I understand, but then eventually, you know, they see it. But I'm like, I got this from you. Like, I got that grit and like that hard work.
Hustle.
Yeah, the hustle mentality, like from you, and like it paid. You know, it paid off.
Yeah.
But as far as like seeing like your parents, in like that kind of like dynamic, like was there anything that like you fell back on, like when you and your like husband were going through something, or?
No, I mean, I grew up with a stepdad, and my dad, we don't want to talk bad about him, but he was a little something, right? Yeah. So basically for me, my number one and my only parent is my mom. Even though I grew up with my stepdad from the age of like 2 till now, because they're still together, it's never the same. Like stepdaughter relationship for me, in my case, it wasn't like a dad or something like that. No. Yeah. So, I mean, I care for him. He's an amazing person. But of course, they did butt heads. So I didn't see that so much in their relationship, but I thank God for the mentality that he gave me, because I'm the type of person that if I see something and I don't think that's right, I will run from it and find the opposite. So if I saw, same with my dad, you know, like my dad, he was a ladies' man, he went this, he did that. For me, it could have been easy like to fall in that trap and be like, look for men that were like my dad, but for me it was like, no, I don't want that. I want a man that's going to be there for me, that's going to support me. And I feel like that was my mom. Honestly, my mom actually like put that in me. Now that I'm thinking about it and talking about it, she was who's always like, put yourself first, make sure that they're gonna ride for you, that they're gonna do this for you, that they're gonna put you first. And it all worked out because I've been with my husband since I was 17.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a long ride. And it was, I mean, honestly, you start off and we're both kids, and he wasn't the person that he is now. I feel like I had to like guide him and be like, you're not going to treat me like that, baby. Like, this is not what I deserve. So either you fix yourself or I am gone, you know? And it kind of took him for me to like tell him that from like the moment we got together till now, to like become the person that he is now. Maybe if he wasn't with me, girl, I don't know where he'll be at, but I should be lucky. But yeah, I mean, like, I feel like I didn't see it, but I'm the type of person that always looks for something better. Like, I want to do better. I want to be better. I want to live something for my son. I want to leave a mark. I want whoever comes in contact with me for them to be like, oh, you know, like, feel inspired, see something and be like, I can do that too. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
I mean, perfect for this podcast because it's literally about legacy. But no, I love that, and I think it's kind of cool too. Like, I have like a friend like from high school that she's like with her boyfriend from high school, and I think first of all I'm like, damn, how the hell did like
how did that happen?
I'm like, I don't know how I could never, but it shows like a true testament of like who you are, like, you know, because I think to be able to evolve with somebody like that, and then like grow a business and do so much more, like it shows a lot because
I feel like we've literally grown up together, like it's crazy.
Yeah, and because like, okay, guys are like 5 steps behind. So
Girl,
it's like,
I feel like it was like 10. I was dragging him. Okay, I'm like, you're gonna have to catch up because if not, this ain't working out. But I feel like I've always been like a very vocal person, and when if something doesn't stick right with me or it doesn't feel right in my gut, I always speak out. I'm like, hey, like this is not gonna work out for me, and if you really want it, you either change it and become what I need you to become, or I will find somebody that needs me that will do that for me, you know? And I feel like I've been that since the beginning with my husband. I've always been myself. I've always let him know, like, I don't like that. You need to change that. If you don't change it, then bye, you know? Because I'm always going to put myself first.
Well, those are good values to have. And I think especially when you have a business, I think understanding those, like, boundaries and stuff. So, like, now, like, how is, like, the dynamic for you guys, like, when it comes to, like, the business?
Running
like,
it together?
Yeah.
Girl, I thought that we were going to butt heads more because and at the beginning, I was just like, oh, he's here every single day. And I was so used to him, like, being at work for X amount of hours, and I was just doing my thing, raising our son, and doing my thing, you know, and then for him to like quit, he quit last July, so it's been like a year now, over a year. And at first I was like, damn, we're gonna fight, we're gonna see how are we going to like navigate just being together all the time. But it's been really good. I feel like we work really well together, and like I said, because I'm not afraid to vocalize what I need and what I feel, he really accepts it and like catches it, and he's like, okay, like even if like I'm having a bad day, he knows when I'm having a bad day. He knows like, no, let me just leave her alone. Like, it's one of those days. She woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Like, let me not even do anything. Let me just go over there and do my thing. So he has his designated stuff to do. I have my designated stuff to do. So I'm always at the front of the store.
Okay.
I get to interact with the clients Monday through Friday. I'm mostly in the front of the store, and he's like in the office, either working like orders, arranging new merchandise that we get in, tagging new jewelry, putting in the system, whatever the case may be. And now that our son is in school, he does have to go to the carpool lane and like wait for him for like 2 hours. So at the end of the day, I feel like he has his own thing and I have my own thing, and it works very well. You know what I mean? Like, it's an untold like rules that we have. It's like you do this, I do this, and if we just learn to work really well together.
So is there? I mean, has there ever been a time where, in terms of like your actual relationship, like at home, like, is there a time where you're just like, damn, like we haven't done date night, or like we're not really spending, you know, like that type of quality time? Because I mean, you don't always want to be talking about business or whatever, you know? Like,
and I feel like he is the one that reminds me every single day, like, or he tells me, like, babe, like, we need to go on a date. Babe, we haven't done this. Babe, put the phone away. Like, stop, you know, like, we're home. Like, focus on us. And me, I just have this, I don't know what it is. Like, it's so bad, and I know it, and I'm like, bless your heart for putting up with me. But I'm like, this business is literally, like, my life. Like, I want to like set it up and have it running on its own. And in my vision, in my mind, I'm like, I'm working so hard right now for like in a year or 2 years it could run on itself and I can just learn to let it go, you know? But right now I feel like it's like a baby, like it needs me, like it needs my attention. And sometimes like I said, I feel bad for him because he's right. Like sometimes I just need to put the phone away. I need to stop focusing so much on the business, focus more on being a mom, being a wife. But it's just so hard for me because I'm like, dang, this is our life. Like, if I don't do this, like, what if it crumbles down and what am I going to do now? You know what I mean? So it's really hard for me, not so much him. It's hard for him to just like, because he's the one who always constantly have to remind me, like, babe, let's go on a date. Like, put the phone down. Like, let's not talk about anything. Like, it's okay. Like, forget about it for a second. And for me, the hard part is actually doing that because I'm like, whoa, I can't. Like, give me my phone. They send me a DM at her. I'm like, who's messaging me? I need to respond. Or I need to post this reel. Or I need to post this picture. And so that's where the hard part comes in.
Do you, I guess, do you guys do anything, like, for yourselves that's, like, it's my time?
So, every morning we wake up and work out.
Okay.
We either go to the park, we work out together, we work out at home. We definitely have dates, like, on the weekends. We go have dinner. We take our son to, like, whatever the case may be, main event or the zoo. Just moments that are for us, and I'm still recording them like it is for us, but the content needs to get done, so I'll be recording.
Hold on, let me put my jewelry in there.
Exactly. I'm like, babe, that's a cute little. Let me just grab this real quick. Let me snap that picture real quick. But, so he understands that too. Like he's really good. Like he's like, I